Hello, welcome back. I'm Jonathan Farley and this is my essential guide for the modern man. Today's project is a pair of shoes that I got on eBay for literally £1. I was the only person to bid for them and I sniped them at the last minute. Nobody had bid. I bid £1 and I won. There was no reserve. To be fair, the photographs looked awful and it was clearly somebody doing a house clearance or something that just wanted rid of them. Anyway, they cost £1 and I'm going to see if I can restore them. They are a Derby Loake, brogues, and yeah, they're actually really good. They don't look particularly good because of all the creasing at the front. However, the aspects that I'm interested in, because I don't do cobbling as such, and I don't repair shoes, I need a sole and a heel that have good life left in them, because resoling a pair of shoes like these are going to be about £70 on their own. So good soles are a really good start. The quality of the leather, there's creasing, but there's no cracking. They're not particularly dried, so they've not been abused as shoes. They've just not been looked after. They've never seen a pair of shoe trees in their life, but they haven't had that much wear. So I'm quite confident that we'll be able to do something really positive with them. So today I'm going to do the usual restoration. Give them a wash, give them a brush. I'm going to treat them with mink oil, and that will hopefully ease off the leather, obviously with the shoe trees in. Ease off the leather, make it more easy to work with. Apply some heat using my iron to get the creases out. Then I'm going to condition and polish the leather and see if we can bring them back to being a stunning pair of shoes as they once were. So let's get started. First step, as always, take the laces out, shoe trees in, huge improvement already. Now, saddle soap. Applicator brush, nice lather. Hold it by the heel so I can control the shoe. Start off at the toe, around the welt, all the way to the back, to the quarter. Go laterally across the toe to get into all of the creases. Back of the heel. Microfiber cloth. Onto the other one. Again, start at the toe. So these would have been about 200 to 250 pounds brand new. So to get them for £1, okay, they're in pretty rough condition, but when you know what you're looking for and you're looking at a quality pair of shoes, just because they've not been given the best life to date doesn't mean to say they can't be brought back to be something quite special. With just the saddle soap and the shoe trees, the creases have already started to ease, which is great. Great first step. Leather doesn't like to be excessively heated. It does dry it out, so you need to be really careful. That's why I'm going to use the microfiber cloth and always use that as a barrier between the heat source and the shoe itself. So let's try it with a bit of low steam to begin with. See how we get on. Now, with the leather still warm, I'm going to go in straight away with some mink oil. And hopefully what that'll do is relax the creases even more, so that when the leather cools and dries, it will cool with the creases out, if you see what I mean. And then hopefully by using shoe trees going forward, we then have a proper shape to the shoe. Again, push the mink oil right into the creases. What I'm also going to do is relace them, just so that it gives them more shape as the shoe is cooling and drying. So hopefully you can see what we're trying to achieve there. The creases they're not out completely, but they are much improved. Now, obviously that luster that the shoe has at the moment, that's just down to the mink oil. That's not because it's been polished, that's just because it's been oiled. So that's not a genuine shine on the shoe, that's just, as I say, the effects of the oil. So there we are at the halfway point. I'm going to leave these for an hour or so to let them cool down, let the mink oil soak in, and let them dry out a little bit, and we'll come back and give them a polish. Okay, so they've been left for about an hour, and I'm going to show you exactly what's happened. Obviously, they are now more dull because the products have had time to absorb in. But as you can see, the creases are more or less gone. So, really happy with that. And what I'm going to do now is try a bit of Saphir Pat Deluxe and give them a polish. Now, again, lots of people shout at me for using my fingers straight into the polish. I'm not going to go over again why I'm doing that, but safe to say, I know that a lot of people don't like it, but I have my reasons. Anyway, again, okay, so that's a layer of polish all over. And now, as I've said before, we're going to lightly feather the shoe, feather the leather, and this gives it its basic buff. We're not pressing on hard, we're not trying to set them on fire, we're just trying to we're using the surface of the brush and giving it a gentle buff. Then the cloth, polishing cloth. And again, just start nice and gentle. Now, when somebody's wearing a pair of shoes, it's easy to shine the toe because you can use both hands and use a side-to-side motion. When the shoe's not being worn, it's a little bit more difficult. So, in a rather ungainly fashion, I like to clamp the shoe between my thighs. And this allows me to use the same technique. Okay, that's the first pass. Quite happy with that so far. By the way, if you want to see the difference between just using fingers and using a cloth, this time I'll try it with a cloth. Part of the reason that I don't use a cloth normally is quite simply because so much of the product gets left on the cloth. And I am an absolute skinflint, as you can tell, because I buy shoes for £1. But that's not the reason. I am, you can call me a skinflint, you could call me very, very frugal, but it's really more about finding things that still have life left in them and maximizing that life. Finding things that look like they're neglected and finished. Some people restore cars, some people restore watches. I don't have the talent or the patience for either of those things, although I do like watching both cars and watches being restored. But this is more where my abilities lie, is in doing the same thing for a pair of shoes, and taking something that looks like it's for the scrap heap, or that somebody else thinks is for the scrap heap, and turning it into something that I'd be proud to wear. So, again, with the brush. Different cloth, microfiber cloth. Last one was just a pure cotton cloth. This one's microfiber. And you can tell with this the difference. when you first start, it feels a little bit sticky. And then as the shine starts to take, it glides a lot more across the surface. Loads of people comment, and you can always tell the type when people comment, oh God, can't be bothered. Just buy a new pair of shoes. Just buy a new whatever. Oh God. And that's exactly that. That's probably 95% of the population who think, oh no, can't be bothered. Just buy new. And I hate buying stuff new. I really do. I hate waste. I hate being wasteful. If you want to buy new, that's entirely your decision. That's entirely your choice. Of what you do with your money is entirely up to you. I get a significant amount of joy in taking something, as I say, and doing a transformation. And when you can get a result like that, I think it's a worthwhile use of time. And then for the finishing touch, if we're going to give it a shine, we may as well give it a proper shine. So. So there we are. After a bit of patience, a bit of elbow grease and the right techniques, we've got a nicely restored Loake. I'm going to do the other one exactly the same, but I think you'll agree, well worth the pound I paid for them. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments about the techniques or the methods involved, please let me know. If you've tried it and had any success doing the same thing, then I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, go and see if you can bag a bargain and restore them to a parade shine. Anyway, have a great day. Till next time, take care. I'll see you very soon.